Hello and a very warm welcome to my dearest students in today's class. Welcome to the daily current affairs class. And before we begin, I would like to inform you how we work. We work with the help of MCQs, like preliminary MCQs. And these are completely based on the transforming pattern that we have observed for Prelims 2023. Keep in mind one thing, if you're looking for shortcuts, it's not going to help you. UPSC is not the exam for you. But if you want to ensure that you are in touch with current affairs on a daily basis, this is the right class for you. I will tell you how to apply the basic knowledge with the help of MCQs, and this is the newest curation that I have. If you're looking to substitute daily current affairs from something, you will never be able to do that. UPSC is not looking for those aspirants who are just reading the compilation when the exam comes and they think I have read so much, I will definitely crack this examination. It's not going to help you. If you were in 2014-15, then fine, but not now. So these are the many news that we have to look through with the help of our prelims type of questions. Consider the following statements with reference to mural paintings. Why am I asking you this question? Because of the Akhand Bharat mural painting that has been installed in the parliament. It is much in the news. The Vishnu Dharmottara Puran documents the existence of mural paintings in India. What are mural paintings? These are simply wall paintings with better techniques. Alright, the earliest paintings at Ajanta caves are in cave number 9 and 10, and the paintings from the Bagh caves in Madhya Pradesh correspond to those paintings of Ajanta. What do we have to do? We have to select how many statements given above is or are correct. That, as you can see, no elimination technique. So first statement is definitely correct, that the Vishnu Dharmottara Puran documents the existence of wall paintings or murals in India, and the earliest cave paintings at Ajanta caves are in cave number 9 and 10, of which only one painting in cave number 10 survives in the left wall. The paintings from Bagh caves remarkably have a correspondence with the Ajanta cave paintings. So all three statements are correct. Option C will be the correct answer. Now, as I have already told you, this is the Akhand Bharat mural, and it is much in the news because it has been disputed by Nepal as well. That is another thing. We will get into that as well. See, the earliest examples of cave paintings in India exist from the times of ancient times, we can say, in Kaimur range of central India, in Vindhya hills and some parts of Uttar Pradesh. These paintings generally are from wildlife, and as you see, this is the painting that I'm talking about here. These two paintings, this is from Vindhya caves, this is from central India, Kaimur range, and this is a painting from Spain. So all these paintings are remarkably the same, and the Spain one actually belongs to the Neolithic age. So paintings have been with us since time immemorial, and as I told you, wild animals are one of the most important objects here. War processions and hunting scenes as well, very realistic in nature. Vinay Pitak, which is a Buddhist text of 3rd to 4th century BC, talks about wall paintings at pleasure houses. There has also been mention of wall paintings in Ramayana and Mahabharata. Ajanta caves are sculpted from rocks. These are a group of 30 caves which are in semicircular shape. Best of the best wall paintings you can find over here. It is expanding from a period of 8 centuries. Like the paintings there span across 8 centuries. The earliest ones were from 2nd century, latest 7th century, and the Vishnu Dharmottara Puran documents the existence of mural paintings. As I told you, the earliest paintings in Ajanta, I won't repeat that, and the paintings from Bagh caves from Madhya Pradesh have very much correspondence with the Ajanta cave painting. See, the thing is that, what do we do here? Mural paintings. They are generally two types, fresco and tempera and fresco secco. This is the same. True fresco you will find in the Rajarajeswara temple. And true fresco means that a thin layer of lime plaster is ground and put on the wall, and while that plaster is wet, coloring starts from then only, so that the colors get deep into the lime plaster. But in tempera or fresco secco style, which is much more prevalent in India, the lime plaster first dries out, then only we will do the painting. So I hope you understood the key difference. Next, consider the following pairs. We have to match the Buddhist stupa to their significance. What is their significance? Parinirvana Stupa, the Buddha attained nirvana. Dhamik Stupa, the Buddha delivered his first sermon. Mukut Bandha Stupa, the Buddha met his first disciples. And the last is Chaukhandi Stupa, where the Buddha prepared for nirvana. So, how many pairs given above is or are correct? I told you time and again, look beyond books. You must be finding it really surprising that these sort of informations are not even given in the basic and standard books as well. So I'm looking for you beyond the book so that you don't have to be worried about such kind of information. Let's start. Parinirvana Stupa, by the name of it, you can understand that here the Buddha attained nirvana and laid down his body. Dhamik Stupa is where the Buddha delivered his first sermon. First and second, they are correct. Mukut Bandha Stupa is actually where the relics of Buddha are buried. As said, some say it was divided into 10 portions. Some say that it was divided into 8 portions. And Mukut Bandha here, the relics of Buddha are stored. And Chaukhandi Stupa is where the Buddha met his disciples for once again. It was a reunion with his most favorite disciples. Alright, so that makes first and second to be correct. Third is not correct. Fourth is also not correct. So only 2 are correct. 2 pairs only will be the correct answer. Now, Akhand Bharat mural in New Indian Parliament triggers row in Nepal because allegedly Lumbini has been shown in Akhand Bharat, which is actually in Nepal according to Nepal, but which is true actually. The stupa, what is stupa? Stupa comes from a Sanskrit word which means heap. And in layman's term, it is a dirt mound, generally to bury something that is dead. It is in Buddhism used as commemorative structure which is designed to encase Buddhist relics and other holy objects. There are different kind of stupas as well. I will tell you that as well. You will not find it in any standard book. Okay. Preeminent type of Buddhism monuments this have become, although it goes back to Vedic ages. And in Buddhism, it is a freestanding mound generally, which is having a circular drum, which is known as medhi, which forms the base for a massive solid dome. This dome is known as anda, and it is topped by a turret, that is chhatri. And the bell or the dome-shaped mound covers the relics or the holy object. Now, as you see, I have attached a map which shows us the proliferation of stupa. I will provide you the PDF on Telegram channel. If you're new to this channel, you can search for Pooja Dwivedi StudyIQ UPSC. You will find it. Alright. So as I told you, there are different types of stupas. Not only one. Not only to commemorate something or bury something. But we have first type of stupa, that is relic stupa. Relic stupa is generally to bury the righteous people. The portions of the righteous people like Buddha. We have one at Sanchi. Then we have another one, object stupa. Object stupa is used to bury the important objects which are related to holy people. Okay, like we have one at Vaishali. Then the next one is votive stupa. It is generally very important, as in of stone, to commemorate a visit or something else. Visit mostly is done by votive stupa. One is also made up of glass. So 2 types of votive stupa. Then we have commemorative stupa, which is to show the important events in the lives of Buddha or lives of his disciple. Like one we have at Anuradhapuram. And symbolic stupa are there to show different theologies of Buddhism. One we have at Leh. So all these sort of stupas you will find different types of stupas, not only one. Remember that. Now, as I told you, the different type of stupas. Now I will tell you what stupa were we talking about in the question. So here is, let's go through the pairs one by one, then we will understand it. Okay. So, Parinirvan stupa, correct. Dhamik stupa, correct. Mukut Bandha stupa is where the relics of Buddha lie. And Chaukhandi stupa, where he reunited with his disciples. I have already attached the pictures so that you can look through them when I give you the PDF. But don't think that I will give you the PDF, you will skip this class. No, I will tell you additional information. and I will make you understand how we connect the dots and apply the information that we have. All right. Moving ahead to the next question. With respect to cheetahs, consider the following statements. South Africa is home to the highest African cheetah population in the world. The Asiatic cheetah is critically endangered and survives only in Iran, and the first ever captive breeding of cheetahs in the world was recorded during the reign of Shah Jahan. Okay, so we have to select how many statements is or are correct. First statement is definitely not correct because it is actually Namibia and not South Africa, which is home to the highest number of African cheetahs. It is housing 1/3 of the total cheetah population. Asiatic cheetah is unfortunately critically endangered, and about only 12 are left in the wild in Iran. Second is also correct. I mean, first is incorrect, second is correct. First ever captive breeding was ever recorded at the times of Jahangir, not Shah Jahan. And captive breeding is very rare because female cheetahs are notoriously shy. So this was the first ever time attempted and succeeded captive breeding of cheetah. So first is incorrect, second is correct, and third is also incorrect. First and second is correct, first and third are incorrect. Two statements only will be the correct answer. India will not fence cheetah habitat according to the government panel chief. South African experts said that please fence certain areas and keep that as your sink reserve so that poaching doesn't happen, injuries from hunting doesn't happen, and proper maintenance of the population can be done. Just few, not all, but the government says that it is against our wildlife policy. And cheetahs actually are the oldest of the big cat species in the world. Asiatic and northwestern cheetahs are critically endangered, while African cheetahs are vulnerable. African cheetahs vulnerable. Generally, if you look at the IUCN Red Book status, it is vulnerable. But critically endangered are northwestern African cheetahs and Asiatic cheetahs. So just get the difference. Next, Asiatic cheetahs are found only in central plateau of Iran. Range countries were India, Pakistan, most of the Indian subcontinent, but now they are extinct. And there are only 12 cheetahs left. As I told you, they are critically endangered. Cheetahs have been domesticated and hunted as hunting animals, hunted also as vermin, and used as a sport animal. When princes and kings used to go for hunting, they used to get along their cheetahs as well, because they used to be called as hunting leopards. They used to hunt gazelles, deers. And in the 12th century Manna Solasa, there are records of such incidents. Also in 1613, there was the first ever record of captive breeding of cheetahs in the times of Jahangir. In 1947, the last 3 male cheetahs were murdered by Maharaja Ramanuj Pratap Singh Dev of Korea, now in Chhattisgarh, and by 1952, they were officially declared as extinct. The largest population is in Namibia, which is housing 1/3 of the population. Next, consider the following statements with respect to sedition. The word sedition was dropped from the Constitution after 1947. Few of you must know this, or should know this, Rick. Very few of you must be knowing this, that it was in our Constitution as well, the word sedition. And sedition applies when only words written or spoken excited disaffection against the government of India. Apart from G. Tilak, the only other freedom fighter to be tried under sedition was Mohandas Gandhi. And the last, the UK abolished sedition through the Coroners and Justice Act of 2009. So we have to see how many statements given above is or are correct. Sorry, which of the statements. So one can be workable. See, word sedition, yes, it was dropped at the insistence of K.M. Munshi, who was one of the members of the drafting committee of the Constitution. So, word sedition used to be used as a ground for infringement when it comes to Article 19. Article 19 promises us freedom, but here also sedition was used as a ground if they want to infringe, if the state wants to infringe upon our rights. So, it was dropped. Sedition applies when only words written or spoken are there to excite violence against the government? No. Signs, visible representation, all these are included. First is correct, second is not correct. Apart from Bal Gangadhar Tilak, only other freedom fighter to be tried under sedition was Mohandas Gandhi, which is absolutely wrong, because many other important icons were also tried. I will tell you that. Annie Besant was also tried under this. Then UK abolished sedition through the Coroners and Justice Act of 2009 is definitely correct, while we are still hanging on to it. So that makes how many statements? Let's see. Which of these statements given above is or are correct? So first is correct, second is not correct, third is not correct, and fourth is correct. So 1 and 4 will be the correct answer. That is option C. Now, retain sedition law as according to the 22nd Law Commission of India. They are saying just keep the sedition law there in order to protect the integrity of India, although there could be amendments made. And Section 124A of the Indian Penal Code of 1860 talks about sedition, that whoever by words, either written or spoken, or by signs, or by visible representation or otherwise, very open-ended, brings or attempts to bring into hatred or contempt, or excites or attempt to excite disaffection towards the government established by law. That means if there is an act which has the intention of creating disaffection against the government. See, two different types of protests we can do against the government. We can talk about certain policies of the government in order to unleash what disadvantages the policy has or how harmful a policy can be. But if my intention is to, subvert the government which is established by law, that can be counted as sedition. These two are very different. Now, there shall be anybody who does that. 5 types of punishment are there. Either give them life imprisonment or give them 3 years, up to 3 years of imprisonment. Either give life imprisonment plus fine or give 3 years of imprisonment plus fine. Or we can also just give them fine. So 5 types of punishments are mentioned. Section 124A of the Indian Penal Code, here IPC was absent when Lord Macaulay, talked about coding laws for India. But it was reintroduced by James Stephen. He piloted this project in 1870 to put sedition, which is in its current form. Bal Gangadhar Tilak was tried and convicted twice. In his last trial in 1916, he was defended by Muhammad Ali Jinnah and he was acquitted. Maulana Muhammad Ali, Maulana Shaukat Ali and Shri Shankaracharya, they were tried jointly in 1921, which was at the heights of the one phase of Indian struggle. And in 1922, that was the Khilafat movement. Maulana Abul Kalam Azad was tried for sedition, and his speech, which was perfectly given in Urdu, finds a mention in Qawli Faisal, a book. And here he defied the crown. Moving ahead, K. Munshi secured the deletion of sedition from the constitution. UK abolished it in 2009. Arrange the following states in the ascending order, that means from the earliest to latest of their formation. Telangana, Manipur, Nagaland, Haryana, Sikkim. So how do we have to select our answer? Using this particular code. First of all, among these, Nagaland was created in 1963. Haryana was created in 1966. Manipur was created in 1972. Sikkim was created in 1985. And Telangana was the last one to be created in 2014. So we have to arrange them. Nagaland first. Alright. Then we have Haryana. Then we have Manipur. Then we have Sikkim and finally Telangana. 34251. 34251 will be the correct answer. 34251, that is option D. So Telangana Day, we are celebrating it today. Telangana was created on 2nd of June 2014. It was separated from Andhra Pradesh with the help of Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act of 2014. And according to Article 3, the Parliament can form new states, alter the boundaries of states, diminish the boundaries of states, change the name of states. These are all given here. Formation of new states can be either from, it can range from carving out a state from one single state, 2 districts from 2 different states. Like this, we can form new boundaries. Then new states. Then increasing the area of any state, diminishing the area, altering the boundaries and the name. All this is empowered or the power is given to the Parliament with the help of Article 3. And as I told you, the chronology, it's given here. You can read it in the PDF, okay? Because this is factual. I don't have to tell you anything here. Next, consider the following statements. Statement 1 and statement 2 are given. India and Nepal have different perceptions of the place where the name of river Kali comes into effect. Second statement, Nepal considers the east of the Kali river should begin at the source of the river. But India says that the border begins at Kala Pani, which India says is where the river begins. So we know that Limpiadhura, Kala Pani, Lipu Lake, these are certain disputed territories between India and Nepal. If you have to answer this question, you will need information and concept both. How? Let's talk about that. See, first of all, let us see how will we answer this question with the help of these particular codes. Okay. So India and Nepal, yes, they have difference of opinion when it comes to where the Kali river actually is called Kali. And Nepal says that supposedly this is the Kali river, but it is starting here. It starts here, but flows like this. For India, the Kali river's west will be from here, but for Nepal, the Kali river's west will be from here. Suppose the source is over here. So it will create a problem for both these countries where to actually think where the Kali river starts getting called Kali. So first statement is definitely correct. Both these have different perception, and Nepal says that the east of the Kali river is actually from the source where it begins. Source is at a higher altitude than the Kali river flows into the plains and the mountains, and that makes India to think that it will get its division from the west of the Kali river where it is actually flowing, but Nepal says it is from the east of where the source is. So there is a difference of opinion there. Statement 1 is definitely correct, and it is the correct explanation of statement 2. Alright, option A will be the correct answer here. Alright, now India and Nepal, they vow to resolve the boundary dispute with respect to these areas, and that is why this question has been asked. Now, Kalapani region is where the river Kali flows. Through the Treaty of Sagoli, the boundary was created between the then British India and the Gurkhas. So, this Treaty of Sagoli, which was signed as well as ratified in 1816, was done so after the Anglo-Nepal War. And Nepal lost the regions of Kumaon Garhwal and in the west and Sikkim in the east. Article 5, from here only, the actual problem is. The king of Nepal gave up his claims over the region west of the Kali river, and the British rulers recognized that to the east of the Kali river, Nepal has its sovereignty. Now, the problem here is that, see, here is Kalapani, and here is Limpiadhura. From a source near Limpiadhura, the Kali river begins and flows like this. Nepal says that we should talk about the boundary from the east of the source and not the river. Whereas India says that the river Kali is known as Kali from Kalapani onwards. There are many different streams of rivers that are flowing here. We are not going to consider them the Kali river. We are going to consider the Kali river where it comes into Kalapani. So this is the perception that both these countries have. This could be resolved through bilateral talks. Consider the following countries: Italy, Iceland, Turkey, Norway. How many of the above mentioned countries are one of the 12 founding members of NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization? Actually, Italy is there, Iceland is there, Norway is there, but not Turkey. So 3 only will be the correct answer, completely factual in nature. NATO chief is going to go to Turkey because they want Sweden in the NATO camp, and that will create a problem. North Atlantic Treaty Organization is a political as well as military alliance. Right now it has 31 members, Finland being the latest. Now Sweden might also join. It was created in 1949 in order to promote the security amongst the European members and not American members. And it is not open to non-European members and non-American countries. So we have to understand that it is open only to Europe. And in 1949, it was created in order to check the Soviet Union. Headquarters are at Brussels, Belgium, and another one of Allied Command is in Mons, Belgium. As I told you, 12 members were there, remember that. Moving ahead to the next part, Article 5, this is the major key of the entire Atlantic Treaty Organization is that if there is an attack on one country, it will be considered as an attack on all. It has been invoked only once when the 9/11 attack was there, the World Trade Center attack. 12 founding members are there: Belgium, Canada, Denmark, France, Iceland, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Norway, Portugal, United Kingdom, and the United States, latest one being Finland. All right. So I hope you understood, and I tried to inculcate all the important curated news today shortly, but ensuring that you are conceptually clarified about it. I hope you liked the class today, and I hope I will see you tomorrow as well. Thank you so much for watching.